ant is number 54. Another 9. 5 and 4 is 9. Last week we had raven, which was 9. So above and below, both number 9s. That was coincidental. No coincidences in the universe. But that was not planned. So number 9, very powerful spiritual number. Ant's community is similar to a Zen monastery. No one leads. No one is lazy. Everyone works in unity and camaraderie. Sweeping floors or raking leaves with mindfulness is a selfless experience, and monks often become enlightened during mundane activities. People can meditate for years and years and years. The monks are just sweeping the floor, cleaning the toilet bowl. Mundane activity. Because they're so present and mindful, they experience that profound oneness and connection with everything that there is, and they suddenly become enlightened. Ant spirit animal brings the blessings and fruits of teamwork, leadership, humility, and support. So often, I often take on everything myself with my projects, mainly because I don't have the money to pay other people. But it's so important to reach out. We need community, we need support, and we give it as well. We receive it and we give it as well. And we really can't do it alone. Ant is such a good animal spirit for us here now because they absolutely work in a team. She encourages us to undertake any task or exercise, no matter how intimidating, and carry it through. You've seen a little tiny ant carrying this big, huge crumb on his back. They can hold so much more of their weight. So that's the first thing, having the inner stamina. The perseverance, no matter what the obstacles are. If there's a lot of obstacles, as we talked about last week, divine timing, it may be time to take a rest. Listen to the signs that you're receiving. Maybe don't go forward. Just know that the time will open up again. That space will open up again. So now is the time to do whatever you've put off. Line up all your excuses for not starting and knock them down. If you've already taken a deep dive, then keep going. Now is not the time to question your ability or your worthiness. The mind always gets in the way. You have to stay at the heart center. And we must not look at what's not happening. We have to believe that it is happening. And we continue as though it's already happened. With humility, we seek the support of the divine. Here you receive mental stability, stamina, and inner guidance. The wisdom is to trust every step taken, to not overthink the goal, and remain focused on the task. Nature isn't in a hurry. Nature isn't trying to make things done. Nature is patient. Its leaves are dying, and they're coming back again in the spring. They're just there with their divine nature, blossoming when it's time. What kind of stability are we talking about here? I remember when we had a huge earthquake. It was in, I think, 1986. It was so intense. I just moved to California. I think I'd been living there for maybe 4 years. It really scared me. We haven't had one that big since. It was really, really frightening. I thought that I was going to die. The house just shook. Everything was falling over. It seemed to last for a long, long time. I don't even know how the house was still standing. We're in the 2nd floor. I was surprised it didn't collapse. And after that, I wanted to move out of LA. I thought to myself, well, what am I running from? Why am I moving? Am I running away from death? You can't escape that. You can move to what you think is a safe place, and you can walk out your door and a flower pot could fall from the floor above and hit you on the head and kill you. Our lives are truly as fragile as a water bubble. I decided to stay in LA and build my stability from within and my security, because there really is no security. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition, as soon as we woke up in the morning, we would meditate on death. It really makes you more appreciative of life. It makes you realize that to stop wasting time, that life could be over today. And it really helps you to have more gratitude and more love and compassion in your heart. So at the time, anyway, getting back to my earthquake story, I was working in a bookstore, and I always saw this flyer of this Zen master. And the only reason I decided to walk into his ashram was because it was close. I didn't want to have to drive across town. I just walked in. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about Zen meditation. I was never drawn to it. I wasn't attracted to the Zen tradition at all. But it was close, so I walked in. No coincidences. You're always arriving where you're supposed to be. I started practicing Buddhist meditation, and it completely changed my life. Zen meditation really gave me a foundation. It gave me grounding, and it gave me that stability that I needed. We need to have something like this in our lives, especially now. When we aren't afraid of death anymore, that also gives us an inner stability. We just develop a lot more strength, a lot more trust. We take more chances or more risks, because we have less fear. You know, fear is a big factor that holds us back. You think of ant, and they're sort of oblivious to anybody around. Unlike cockroaches, for example, they know when you're there. Ants are sort of fearless, you know, in that sense, because they're so tiny and vulnerable, but they're so strong, and they're so productive, and they're so community-oriented. So the wisdom here is to trust every step taken. We learn this by watching Anne's fortitude in action. She carries loads 10 times her size without complaining, without straining, or without resistance. She forms an ant bridge to help others reach their destination as she reaches hers. They actually do that. They form a bridge so all the others can cross over where they need to go. I mean, how amazing is that? They just know to do this. Very intelligent creatures, these little insects, very intelligent, surviving in the conditions that they survive in. Reach out to others today. We never know who may need our help. Teamwork that provides the divine support today provides the grace and stamina that we need for tomorrow. Remember to see the divine in everyone. So, seeing the divine within, we really want to start seeing everyone as God. You know, we never want to judge people by their appearance or their status or what we can get from them. So I try to move out of the sun a little bit. It's encroaching me here. So yes, so we want to have our efforts spring up from inspiration and not for selfish purposes.